I'm Cory Wilson, and I'm a lawyer by trade. I actually went to law school almost 20 years ago now, and I've practiced law in the Jackson, Mississippi area for most of my career, but I also have a passion for politics and public service, I guess you'd say. I've always cared about what's going on in our country, and one of the things that's a pet peeve of mine is when people talk about how they don't really care, or they're not political, or they don't really see the point of voting. Because my view is, if they're taking half your money, you really ought to care about what they're doing with it and how they're spending it. So I've always been political. I've always been a Republican ever since really the difference between Jimmy Carter, who I remember as a kid, and Ronald Reagan, who I grew up under, I guess, down the Mississippi coast. I have just always been attracted to conservative values and a conservative approach to government. I think we ought to have limited government in this country. And so over time, I've always been engaged as a volunteer. A few years ago, I got to work in the state government. I was Delbert Hoseman's chief of staff at the Secretary of State's office, and it was a lot of fun to serve people. It was a lot of fun to try to make the government work better and to try to make it act more like a business and to be more conservative with taxpayer dollars. Well, I left that to go back to the private sector about 2 years ago, and ever since I've written a column every week, and I've tried to be engaged in issues, and I really feel like there is a hunger out there for conservative voices, for conservative thought and commentary, and people are fed up with being fed the conventional wisdom from Washington, the sort of liberal media and the establishment folks, and I just feel like there's a great market out there for conservative common sense. So when you read my columns or you read anything I write or say, that's where it's coming from. And I definitely believe that we can be conservative without being caustic. We can work with people of every stripe, and I certainly have friends who are right, left, and everything in between. But we got to stand up for this country and for the values that made us as great as we are, or else we're going to lose it. And freedom is not free. So I believe that, and it's worth a lot of volunteer hours and a lot of other things I do, I guess, that don't necessarily relate to my pay. Again, I'm Cory Wilson, and I hope you enjoy my articles, and I hope you'll continue to read them on MageeNews.com. Thanks.